Hey guys, Mr. Wild Duck 155 here. Today I'm going to be reviewing a legendary iPhone from last decade, or 10 years ago. Crazy on how it's been 10 years ever since 2016. The iPhone SE first generation is what we will be reviewing today. I bought this phone to add to a phone collection that I have. Here it is. Right now it's got a case on it. Remember when iPhones had a power button on the top instead of the side? We will get my main phone out for comparison. You see, my main phone, such as the iPhone 15 Pro, it has the power button on the side. What I remember from iPhones having a power button on the side for the first time was when the iPhone 6 series came out. So that was pretty neat. Anyway, onward to the review of the iPhone SE first generation for a 100 subscriber special. Thank you all, by the way. So this is what it looks like. Oh yeah, not to mention the case also has a kickstand. Useful. I can just use the kickstand. So here it is, the iPhone SE. We first start off with it. I was going to use my GoPro to record, but the battery was at 1%. That's why I made that noise. But anyway, we take a look at the camera right here. So this is what the camera looks like. So we got pano, square, photo and video. All the simple stuff that everybody knows. You can record up to 1080p on this thing, I believe. Right now, the quality is set to 720p/30 frames per second. I will be taking a video right now. Hello everyone. I'm recording off the iPhone SE and I'm currently filming off the flip camera as we speak. Alright, so that was a video of an iPhone SE that was 720p/30 frames per second. What's going on? Sorry about that. The screen is a little darker. Here's what you can do though. You can control the lighting on here. This is what you could do with iPhones way back in the day. So like when you go to video, when you record the video and it's too bright, tap on the screen and scroll down. This is how you control the lighting. Either you want the lighting to be higher or lower. So that's a cool feature. I'm sure every iPhone has that already. Then we have slow motion again. We're going to record a slow motion test video on the iPhone SE. Alright, slow motion recording is done. Then we have time lapse, which is what every iPhone has today. This has become a great feature for iPhones. Like whenever you're doing important tasks, like let's say that you're 3D printing a large object and it takes about probably 7 hours to print, and you use the time lapse feature to record the footage of the 3D printer printing that certain object until it's done. And once you watch the time-lapse video after the print has finished, it can be oddly satisfying. So that's cool. This is all the camera. Oh yeah, and we can even take a photo. Let's do a landscape here. I will get a photo of the flip camera that I'm recording off of. Alright, took that photo, and then we have square here. Well, now what this does is that it reduces the size of the picture frame for the phone. And I will be also taking it out in landscape, both landscape and portrait. Yes, I got that. Take a photo. I will also take one while you guys see it. And if we look at the photo, this is what it looks like. Just a square. Compared to a normal photo, which is what it looks like. Cool, huh? Alright, back to the camera, and then we have pano. When taking a photo, you move the iPhone continuously when taking a panorama. That's cool. It's been a while since I last used that feature, actually. Glad I'm getting back into it for this review. Anyway, time to take a panorama photo. This is what it looks like. I barely moved the phone. We're going to try that again. I'm going to move it a little more faster this time. With landscape mode. That was it. You can barely see it, but hey, still better than nothing. Alright, that was the camera. Alright, the next feature we're going to be testing is Safari. We're going to browse a bit on the iPhone just so that you can see it. Especially in 2026. I can't believe this iPhone is already 10 years old. Which is crazy. Now what we're going to search is the flip phone that I played music on that other YouTube video. Here it is, the Motorola Tundra VA76R. That phone is capable of playing MP3s. There is a video, again. This is what it looks like. And we can take a look at the full-size image right here. This is what it looks like close up. And this is what it looks like open on the image. Simple. So yeah, I hope to feature this phone later on my YouTube channel. Maybe. I don't know for sure, but I will be. I bought it from eBay, and the first website that pops up is eBay. Okay, we're at eBay now, and this is all the listings of that same phone that was featured on that YouTube video. It is becoming more rare. The prices are getting a little higher. I think I got mine for $38. But anyway, these are all the Tundras here on eBay. They're starting to become rare. It is another CDMA phone from the late 2000s. I believe it came out in 2009, last time I heard. So yeah, this is every Motorola Tundra VA76R listed on eBay as of right now. As of today, here it is. So yeah, browsing is still neat on this iPhone as long as you're not surfing through malicious websites, because that could be dangerous. Never surf any malicious websites. Okay, we are done with the browsing. Now on to the next feature. Okay, we are in settings right now and we are on general. The iPhone SE, this one, has 16 gigabytes of storage. This refers back to a time when iPhones had lower storage spaces before. For example, 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, and even 64 gigabytes. Now, modern iPhones come with minimally 256 gigabytes. Crazy. 512 gigabytes. Then they're making terabyte iPhones right now. My main iPhone, for example, is a 256 gigabyte phone. Compared to the iPhone SE is 16 gigabytes. I will pull this up. Here's the proof. It's almost getting full on storage, but I'll do something about it later on. And then the iOS on this iPhone is, looks like there's iOS 15.8.7 available. Interesting. Is the iPhone's OS it can run. it cannot run iOS 16 or higher, or even iOS 26 with a liquid glass. I don't believe this iPhone would handle any liquid glass in general because it's an old phone from 10 years back. For example, my main iPhone runs on iOS 26, the iPhone 15 Pro. We'll get to the next feature later on. But before we do that, we have a little camera comparison. Now, I remember when iPhones way back in the day had only one camera. As for modern iPhones, like the iPhone Pros for example, my iPhone 15 Pro has 3 cameras. Here's the comparison. Close-up view for both of them. Alright, that was it. Okay, this is the last feature that we will be reviewing on the iPhone SE, the legendary Touch ID, which first came out when the iPhone 5S was out, the predecessor to the iPhone SE. Now I do know that the iPhone 5S and the iPhone SE, they look identical. The only difference is, on the back of the iPhone SE, there is a small square surrounding the 2 capital letters SE. And then on the 5S, the square surrounds the 5 and the S, the lowercase s, together. That's how you can tell the difference so that you won't get confused at all. Get it? Alright, anyway, here we go with Touch ID. You can use Touch ID for iPhone unlock, iTunes and App Store, Wallet and Apple Pay, and password autofill. For now, we are going to use iPhone unlock, and it'll show you what to do. So we start by placing our finger or thumb on the home button. Okay, I had to take the entire case out of the iPhone SE so that I can reach the home button a little better. Now let's start reading our finger. Now as I'm doing this, more red lines appear. So I did it 3 times so far. I will count down the rest so that y'all can remember. 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Then you would want to adjust your grip to capture the edges of your fingerprint. Hit continue. Now you see how I'm getting the edges of the thumb here. Alright, Touch ID is complete. Now we can click continue. Looks like we will have to enter a passcode right after. Alright, Touch ID is now set up. Now I'm going to put the case back on. Alright, the case is back on, and this is what it looks like when Touch ID is set up. This is where you will show your list of fingerprints. Now we are going to test it. Gotta take the case off again for this. Alright, the case is off. Now, the moment we've been waiting for. Alright, there it is. This is what iPhones back then had. Touch ID with the home button. Man, I miss that era. Modern iPhones like my iPhone 15 Pro, especially for iPhone 10 and up, they all have Face ID. So this is my main phone that has a OtterBox commander case. OtterBox. And I'm going to put the case back on the iPhone SE again. Alright, the case is back on again, and I'm going to pop the kickstand out. Here we go. Alright, that was a review of the iPhone SE from 10 years ago, man. Wow, I can't believe time has flown by real fast. And so with that, thank you guys for watching this special review. Thank you all for 100 subscribers, and I will see you guys later. Bye!